Hey everyone, Matthew here, and today I'm going to be showing you a mock I've been working on for the past 2 weeks or so. As some of you may know, this set, the Great Hall, started a brand new line of Lego Hogwarts Castle sets in the Harry Potter theme last year, summer 2024, and there's a new one coming this year, a giant tower. To build what LEGO is calling the most detailed Hogwarts castle they've done to date. And I am extremely excited about this. I just picked this set up in anticipation for the new one, but I don't really think LEGO's going to get to the entire castle. If I had to guess, this is going to be just a really upscaled version of the 2018 UCS Hogwarts Castle. Put a picture on screen right now. But I wanted to kind of go ahead and maybe convert some of the older sets and create some of my own builds to integrate into this new Hogwarts display to make what really is the best Hogwarts castle of all time. So, using this as inspiration, I decided to convert my old 2019 Clock Tower set into a module that's going to go with this castle. So I've got plans to make essentially the entire castle layout, or at least the whole main courtyard area. So what they built in the 2018 UCS set, as well as the kind of clock tower courtyard that's behind the Great Tower. So I designed this. What I did really was I combined two of this clock tower set. I had gotten one as a gift after I had already gotten one, so I kind of had both of them just sitting around built in my closet. So I took both of them apart and rebuilt them, keeping the same front facade. I'll pin up a little bit so you can also see the roof here. But I kept the same front facade and just kind of extended the building back by about four studs. And then I designed a courtyard to go out front because, as you might know, in universe, the clock tower also has its own courtyard. Now, if this was completely accurate, there would be the like that wood bridge that Neville burns down in the final movie. But I don't plan to build that because this will be kind of like the end of my display. And that would also take a lot of parts. So I built this courtyard area out in front. There is a fountain in there that I'll show you in a little bit. I'm gonna go handheld. I extended each of these rooms by about double the length, just to kind of get a little bit more detail in there than they have in the official set. And then I added, akin to the Great Hall set and the Grand Staircase Tower coming up, I added a dungeons area to this build. So not only is it now raised up about 13 or 14 studs, but you can fit some interchangeable classroom modules down under there. So I'll get into the building process before I show you a little more of what went into this. Alright, so here's what I built digitally for this build. I did design the rest of the castle physically because I already had the set, and I just felt like it would be easier to work with what I already had as opposed to trying to fully recreate the set digitally here. But I wanted to make sure when I built the rock base here that it was as close to the official sets as I could possibly make it, because I want it to fit in well with the actual sets. So I designed that this whole section, it can fit the little modules in here, and then the castle that I designed up on top. And it will eventually connect into a larger Hogwarts display that I plan to do, where over here in this area I'm going to have the giant courtyard, and then over here is where the Grand Staircase Tower and then the Great Hall will go. So I'll make a future video kind of showcasing that. I've already built a lot of that, but yeah, let's get on to unboxing some of those Bricklink orders, and then I'll show you the completed model. Alright, so I went ahead and took the actual castle section off of the Rocky Mountain base, just so you can get a better look at this section of the build. So just like the Great Hall set, which I have right off camera here, it does actually remove from its base, not super easily, but I don't really intend to take this off the base frequently. But this is kind of, if you have the original set, it does exclude the courtyard, as for some reason all of the 2018 sets excluded the courtyard. Every courtyard, no courtyard was included in those sets, which is strange because Hogwarts has so many courtyards throughout the movies. But I wanted to get that courtyard in here. So here I'm just tilting that up a little bit so you can see. Actually, I will move the camera over here. So I'll take off the ghost here. And then here is the little fountain that I built. I used one of the little statue builds from this year's advent calendar, as well as just some pieces I got from Pick-a-Brick at the Lego store like 2 or 3 years ago now. And then I've just got some minifigures in there. I didn't do a whole lot of detailing in there. I might add a bench or two along some of the walls eventually, but I'm not sure if that's really that important. I don't know if we ever really see students sitting out here. I don't think this one's really shown too frequently in the movies. But I do know it exists. So then moving over down here, I just took a couple other, I'll take the minifigures out so you can really see it. I do plan, I think, to maybe put a carpet down in here, but I did just put a bookshelf and a little fireplace. This one is from this year's 2024 advent calendar, and this is from, I think, a polybag in 2019. Not really sure what I want to do in this room yet, but I eventually plan to have a detachable wall that covers up this section of the build. Something's going on downstairs. But I do plan eventually to have something in this part of the build to make it very presentable from this wall, and I want the bridge coming out the middle connecting it to the rest of the castle. But moving on, in here I have what is essentially the same build as the official set. This is the, what is this? Defense Against the Dark Arts class, Mad-Eye Moody's class from the fourth movie and book. I didn't do too much to change it. I did just extend the tables in the official set. They're too long. I made them 6 long and put a 6 long bench back there instead of actual chairs, so you can have 2 students side by side. I did mess around a little bit with having the tables come all the way to the end, but I just felt like it didn't look very good. I also kind of wanted to fit 3 rows, but it ended up making this look way too cramped, so I kind of just ended up sticking with this. I do eventually want to add maybe a like some kind of skeleton or something hanging from the ceiling, but I'm not really sure the ceiling would be long enough to accommodate that. But then moving right up above, I have a much larger infirmary, and I have Madame Pomfrey from the 2021 set in here, as well as just Ron and Hermione. I'll take all these minifigures out so you can get a good look in there. So here, there we go, focusing. Here this is, you can, I think what I'll do when I combine these is have a second section of roof that connects from the bottom, so it will have a fully enclosed roof, but as of right now, that's what I have a little bit of the roof covering it up just to kind of match the front, because I felt like it looked a little weird not having anything back there, especially with how wide this building is. But I've got 4 beds in here, 2 aside one another, and then I kept these curtains here. I might put something in the middle, but it would maybe take away a lot of the room to stand minifigures in here. But you can fit 4 minifigures in there nicely on the beds, and then a couple more just in between the spaces. And I'm really happy with this, even though it is very similar in its current state to the official set. But yeah, I am quite happy with how this came out, and I feel like it kept enough of the original that like I didn't feel like I don't have the original set anymore, while it like makes it feel very my own and new. Back when the 2018 line of sets was still running, I did like to customize them a lot. I remember I turned my Great Hall, I like doubled its height, and I separated the Great Tower from that one. Pretty similar to the current lineup of sets they're doing, but I'm gonna move this off to the side and show you the fully designed by me rock base that I made in studio for this one. So here is the rocky base that I designed for this build, as you saw on virtually in studio, and then all of the pieces that I acquired for this from Bricklink. I am really happy with how this came out, and I feel like it really nicely matches the style of the official castles, while kind of doing exactly what I need it to. So when I went into designing this, I had a few things in mind. I actually originally, I'll take this out right now just so you can see the full thing, but I originally had it cutting off here and didn't have the courtyard on my castle set. Then I'm like, I want a way to fit both of the sets they've released independently in this build. So if you don't know, they've released this little set. I love this set. This is the Charms class, and they've also released a slightly larger Potions classroom. This set falls apart a little easily, but that's aside the point. But they also released a Potions classroom, and these sets have two different footprints. There's this one, which is, I think, 8 by 14, and then they have this sized classroom, which is 10 by 16, I think? Yeah, 10 by 16. So I wanted to be able to fit both of these classrooms. This is representing the Potions class, and then the Charms class in this build, because they don't have an official spot yet. Every set we've gotten that has room to accommodate these like module classrooms has come with something to fill it, and I don't really want to have to replace an official build with another official build. I do plan eventually to build this out a little bit and maybe give it full walls on 3 sides, so you can take it out and it will still feel like a full classroom, but neither here nor there. I wanted this thing to be able to accommodate the 2 classrooms that do not have an official spot. So I looked a lot at the instructions of the official set to make sure I got the spacing right, and I built essentially the same thing that is included in the official set here. So I'll pull that over just so you can get a good look at that. But I obviously don't have the stickers on here, but it works exactly the same, where you can just kind of slide the classrooms into here. There it is on the official set. And then here's the Hufflepuff classroom, just as an example. And there it is in my custom build. So again, eventually I'll put the Potions classroom in here, but I'm really happy with how this came out, and it does do exactly what I wanted it to, where I can, put the classroom somewhere, but I don't have to replace any of the official ones. Obviously this one's not really anything, but I do still want to keep it there. I do plan to put the Mirror of Erised in there when I get it from the new tower set that's coming out. But I also was quite surprised by how nicely this door section of this classroom integrates into the wall of the rock base. I thought it would really stand out, but it almost looks like it's supposed to be there. Now, I decided when I was designing this that I would have one side open here and then the back open with the rest of the class, because when I display this, it will probably be from this angle and I'm never going to see this. And I did kind of just build this for myself because it's not an official set and I don't really need to worry about that. And then bringing back this set, I'll zoom the camera out just a little bit so you can actually see how it connects. But I designed the top of this very similarly to the official set, so I can just kind of slot this in right on top. It does have a lot of studs connecting it because I did not want it falling off, and I don't really plan to take it off outside of the context of this video. But once it's on there, it is on there very securely. It is not going anywhere. I can throw the classrooms back inside, and I'm good to go. And then just to end this video off, here are these 2 sets kind of next to each other. I think when I get the Great Tower in a couple weeks, I'll probably make another video showing off where I actually plan to have this, because in my final display, this will probably be about this angle, and then this will be back there somewhere, kind of just like off to the the courtyard will be here, and it will the Great Tower will be here, so kind of blocking that. But where I display these, it does have a nice 360 view, so you'll be able to see both of them. But I'm quite proud of how this whole thing came out. It really stands nicely next to the Great Hall. It feels very grand next to the Great Hall, which I'm happy about. Something I think is cool they're kind of doing with this new line is they scale the exterior down a little bit. So when you're looking at it like this, it looks a lot larger than it is. And then when you look inside, it is minifigure scale, which I really like. Because it makes the whole exterior feel really, really grand and big, but then you look inside and you still have a lot of minifigure space. And I feel like I got kind of the same thing going with the one that I made myself. Obviously, this is Lego's facade, but I think in the presence of this tower, it makes this one feel a lot larger than it actually is, and it makes it all feel bigger just because of the way this one is so brilliantly scaled. So yeah, I really can't wait to see what the rest of the official Lego line does, but this is my custom build. Let me know down below what you think of it and what you want to see me build next. But thank you very much for watching this video. I will see you next time. Goodbye.